Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at Noon.
There are still a lot of unanswered questions in the disappearance of a Cynthiana man.
One man is in jail and another is in the hospital following a late-night shooting in Madison County.
Yeah, it's cool outside, there's no doubt about that, but it looks really nice. Now, as we go throughout the next couple of days, it'll be on the cool side, looks good, feels okay. But then here comes that big blast, reinforcing a shot of cold air as we head toward Halloween and off toward the weekend. It gets really cold with some messy conditions. I'll show you that coming up. WKYT News and News starts right now.
And good afternoon, everyone. We begin this noon hour with a breaking news alert. Police are on the hunt for a driver who hit a Perry County school bus and took off.
Here's what we know at the moment. The Perry County Sheriff's Office telling us the crash happened on Highway 28 in the Chavis community. The driver has been identified as Gary Daniels. Authorities have tracked him to the Oneida area of Clay County, where deputies from both Perry and Clay County are searching for him right now along Highway 1428.
And we're told that Daniels has a long criminal history. Deputies in Perry County tell us there were some students on the bus at the time of the crash, but none was injured. We have a crew on the way to this search scene. We'll have the very latest as it becomes available.
Meanwhile, the family of a man believed to have been found dead in a river says they still have a lot of questions about what happened to their loved one. Now,
crews found a body in the Licking River last night, not far from where they found the car of 32-year-old Clinton O'Brien. WKYT's Sean Moody was there as O'Brien's family returned to that scene today in Harrison County. He has more on their search for answers in our top story at noon.
I talked with one of the coroner's assistants this morning. She said we may learn more information early this afternoon. At this point, officials haven't said whose body they pulled from Robinson Dam. Harrison County search and rescue workers found the body at Robinson Dam yesterday evening. It's just a few steps from where they found Clinton O'Brien's car.
Having the keys in the ignition was just a trigger for us that we really need to thoroughly make sure there's nothing down here. I mean, we would rather left here thinking he wasn't here as to finding somebody.
There's been no official confirmation that the body is O'Brien's. Today, one of his loved ones was here at the dam, silently watching the water flow by. Finding a body isn't necessarily what search and rescue workers want, but they say sometimes that's better than finding nothing at all.
It is always our hope to find something, especially when we have a missing person and we're wanting to help the family out, give them a little closure. We're always hoping to find something, but we would really like for it to be a live person instead of a deceased one.
And officials haven't told us what they believe may have led to O'Brien's disappearance. In Harrison County, Sean Moody, WKYT.
O'Brien has been missing now for 7 days.
Well, the word is enjoy today. It's going to be the warmest temperatures that we'll be feeling over the next week.
WKYT meteorologist Micah Harris is live now in our First Alert Weather Center. He's tracking the colder changes coming our way just in time for Halloween, Micah.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, unfortunately. And like Bill was talking about, this is going to be our warmest day outside that we see in the next 7 days. So get ready for it. It's on its way. Let's talk about today, though. We're at 57 in Danville, 57 in Richmond. You see mid to upper 50s all over the place. And live sky camera, there is your shot. Now, we'll have plenty of sunshine the rest of the afternoon. I don't see much in the way of that. And we'll finish off right around 60 degrees, which actually, when we stepped outside just about 20, 30 minutes ago, it's not too bad. It actually feels quite nice in that sunshine. So take advantage of it now. Knock out the yard work the next couple of days, because as we make our way into Friday, off into the weekend, it won't feel great and it won't look that great either. I'll show you that pretty nasty forecast into your Halloween coming up in about 10 minutes.
Micah, see you then. We're tracking new details in a shooting that left a man in the hospital overnight. WKYT News was on the scene as deputies combed over the scene on South Dogwood Drive in Berea. A man went to the hospital. Another man was taken into police custody. And at this noon hour, we're learning more about the man who police believe pulled the trigger. Our Whitney Wetzel is in Madison County with those new details. Whitney?
Police are still trying to figure out what led up to a shooting that happened in the front yard of a Berea home. Just before 11 o'clock last night, police responded to a shooting in the front yard of this home on South Dogwood Drive in Berea. Deputies say 67-year-old John Durham shot Daryl Pigg multiple times after some type of dispute. Pigg was taken to UK Hospital, while Durham was taken to the Madison County Detention Center. At this point, police say it's unclear what led up to this shooting.
And we found the subject shot in the yard. Obviously, there was some kind of altercation. What that altercation was, we're just not sure at this time, but hopefully, as the day goes on, we'll try to figure that out.
Right now, Durham is charged with first-degree assault. In Madison County, Whitney Wetzel, WKYT.
Whitney, thank you. We're not sure of the victim's condition at this point.
3 people now face charges in connection to a murder in eastern Kentucky. A grand jury indicted Michael Ferguson yesterday on facilitation to murder and evidence tampering charges. Christopher Payton is charged with murder in the case, and his mother, Kimberly Payton, is charged with complicity to commit murder. Police say the 3 were involved in the death of Randy Williams. He was found shot to death earlier this month at his home on Dyer Branch Road in West Liberty. Police have not released a motive in that case.
We're expecting to learn more this afternoon about the investigation into the death of a firefighter who died while taking part in an ice bucket challenge. The PSC says it will release its findings in the investigation later today. Tony Greider died last month. He and fellow firefighter Alex Quinn were helping the Campbellsville University band complete the challenge when they got too close to nearby power lines. Quinn stayed in the hospital for days but was finally able to come home.
A man who originally told police he was kidnapped and forced to take part in a crime is now facing charges. The State Journal reports that a grand jury indicted 21-year-old Dylan Hayes as an accomplice in the crime. As we reported back on October 21st, Hayes told Frankfort police that he was kidnapped by 2 men and forced to break into an apartment. Now, the Commonwealth's attorney says evidence showed Hayes was a willing participant. Thomas Wins and Casey Endicott are also charged in that case.
A hearing is now set for tomorrow in a lawsuit filed by a state Senate candidate against his opponent. An attorney for Dr. Ralph Alvarado filed a defamation lawsuit in Clark County Circuit Court against current Senator R.J. Palmer. Alvarado claims that an ad put together by Palmer's campaign contains edited video of a courtroom exchange that was taken out of context. A hearing in the case is scheduled for Winchester tomorrow at 1.
Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel has approved a recommendation by military leaders that all U.S. troops returning from Ebola response missions be kept in supervised isolation for 21 days. The move goes beyond precautions recommended by the Obama administration for civilians. A little more than 1,000 U.S. troops in Liberia and Senegal are there supporting efforts to combat the virus. Many of them are from Kentucky's Fort Campbell. Well, it's not the start of former Wildcat wanted. Julius Randle suffered a serious injury in his NBA debut with the Los Angeles Lakers.
It's tough to watch. Our Dave Baker is tracking down the latest on the condition of the former Wildcat, and Dave joins us now. Buzz?
Guys, it was the night when his dream of playing in the NBA would come true, but Julius Randle couldn't have had any idea how that night would end. Here in the fourth quarter of what would be a big loss to the Houston Rockets, Randle drives to the basket, and it looks like he kicks the back of his right leg with his left leg and goes down. The initial diagnosis by the Lakers medical staff right there at the Staples Center was a broken tibia. Those doctors will conduct further tests today and make a determination on whether or not last year's Freshman of the Year in the SEC will need surgery. In any event, the former Wildcat with such a bright future will be out for a while.
Being a veteran doing something like this is tough, right? And for him being a 19-year-old kid, it's tough. But that's what we're here for. We're here to pick him up and help him through it.
Randle was the 7th pick in the first round by the Lakers. He was the highest L.A. draft choice since James Worthy was drafted number 1 in 1983 out of North Carolina. Worthy also suffered an injury that prematurely ended his rookie season. He tweeted out to Julius Randle last night that he had been through this before and he felt like Randle would make a complete comeback. We'll hear from Lakers coach Byron Scott coming up in just a bit, guys.
Okay, we'll see you then with that, and thank you. One Lexington school is taking a break for the traditional lunchroom.
The Learning Center at Lindley decided to stop participating in the federal school lunch program. Instead, the culinary arts program will provide meals for students through an instructional program. The students will also provide pickup meals for Fayette County Public Schools staff, as well as cater local events.
They're learning to be adults, to be responsible, to be entrepreneurs in a business. They are developing something from the ground up. They know every single aspect of developing this catering and bistro business, and they're getting a chance to have a very powerful voice in it.
Now, the change will take place beginning in January.